Yeah, Dallas got a lot of figuring out to do in the offseason, especially with Cooper's contract coming up.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Let's switch over that because I do want to talk about that. What kind of offseason changes? Let's just start with Dallas. What do we see from Dallas that they need to change to be back next year and competitive in the playoffs?
I don't think they were a bad team. They just start slow. They start slow. Like
I mean, but they started the first 5 seasons though off pretty fast though. I mean, and they led the league in the rushing yards.
And they led
that's
the league in
true.
points per game. I think, or either
But
that
I
was second in points per game.
but I
And
think
takeaways.
I think the thing with Dallas, it's almost like their team the whole season. You look good versus bad team.
Sound like
That's I,
sound like the
no,
Browns.
I mean, that's really what it is. Think about it. All the teams that they really beat up on were not that good. You scored 56 on Washington. You The second time you barely beat the Giants. And then the Eagles, you scored all them points in the season finale, but they rested, shoot, I think both sides of the ball. So
Niggas,
it's like, it's you all right, but you you need to come with it when you playing better teams. Like the really their best game this season was the first game of the year when they lost to Tampa Bay. But after that, they were starting very slow. And I think that it caught up with them Sunday. You know, the 49ers came to play. That defense, that D line it was a long day for Dak. And then that offense, they couldn't stop nobody. Debo Samuels was being Debo again. And I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo did exactly what he needed to do to win.
Man, Debo ran all over him.
man,
70
Yeah,
yards,
like
70
he
yards.
was the X factor. If you can take him away, because he's a big part of their offense, if you can like neutralize him a little, you might have a chance. But once he gets going, then Ayuk gets going, then Kittle gets going. Things open up for Kittle. Then they running Elijah Mitchell at the backfield. They just come at you with a lot. It's like an avalanche, and Dallas experienced the avalanche. Although they couldn't get in the end zone, they did enough to win the game.
but yeah, yeah, like you said, to answer your question, what do they need to change in the offseason? I feel like they need to keep Jerry Jones out of the media, man, because
That ain't gonna happen. You
I know
already
it's not
know.
gonna happen. But they need to keep him out of the media, man, because he's just always saying he's always hyping the Cowboys up, and the Cowboys always fail from Jerry Jones is hyping them up. But at the end of the day, like I said, they need to get some more protection for Dak as well on the offensive line, because that offensive line is looking not as good as it used to be back in the day. And Zeke, like we was talking about, that averaging 2 yards, that's definitely not Zeke material, especially with the money that they're paying him. So Zeke has to step up for sure. I mean, they were saying that this was supposed to be his bounce back year, but it wasn't no bouncing back this year. Especially with him splitting, you know what I'm saying, touches between, him and Pollard. So Zeke's got to step up, and then they got to figure out all that contract situation with Cooper and Demarcus Lawrence as well. And I think they got a couple others. Van Enkel. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name is right,
Van
but
Ness.
yeah,
You see they spelled his jersey wrong?
yeah.
By
Did
the
they?
way, that's
And that's a tough name, though. I
hey,
mean,
as many,
Oh no, it's Vander Esch. My bad.
Van Der Esch.
but they spelled it like Vander X or something like they. As many jerseys that there are and players there are, I'm surprised there haven't been more players misspelled in the past.
I
Like
can see if you
I'm
misspell like
surprised they
somebody
did
that
this
don't
all
play
the
it.
time. They
They
just
missed
they
out
just
on
swapped the
Cooper.
letters around, but yeah, it was just interesting to see. I mean, I didn't catch it; someone else caught it, so it's not like it. But yeah, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. Actually, I would say real quick, just one thing. I the coaching game plan has to change, right? So if that means changing the coach, then maybe that's what it is. But honestly, I don't think that has to be that. Kansas City will be up 21 on someone, and they're still running trick plays. Like at
Yeah, I
some
don't
point, you
understand
have to
that.
get creative. You can't just be, well, we run it up the middle and then we let Dak do his magic if it's third and long. Like you have to get creative. I don't feel like the Cowboys get creative. So for me, it's the coaching game plan. Either the coach needs to, get more creative next year, or maybe they need a new coach. I agree. You can always swap in players here and there, whatever. But listen, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Packers, they're always going to be at the top because you have talented quarterbacks. So what is that difference maker in each and every game? And I feel like it's creativity, and I don't really see any of that from, I see it in Green Bay and I see it in Kansas City. I don't see that creativity in Dallas with a game plan. But let's move on. Let's go Cincinnati. Um,
So real quick,
yeah,
before you go to your next point, if you're Jerry Jones, do you try to trade Zeke and get a running back in the draft?
Zeke is untradeable, man. They paying him way too much.
Yeah,
I mean it depends. Like
that's what I was thinking too. Like he's worth a lot.
if he's
He's too
healthy
much.
next year, then I keep him. I mean, you got Pollard. I can because worst case scenario, I can always just give more touches to Pollard if he's not. But right now, I would. I got to see how healthy he is next year. That's what it is for me.
Because he'll be
Let's,
what,
let's
27
Yeah.
next year? Okay.
let's move on over to Las Vegas. Real quick, what is it from Las Vegas that they could change that they could be here next year in the playoffs, if not a contender, an actual legit contender?
They need
Well,
defense. No, seriously. Because
Yeah.
think about a lot of games this year that they lost, the defense didn't show up. Think about the Monday night when I mean, they beat them, but the Ravens was on that comeback. And then think of Kansas City. You got a lead on them, and then Kansas City comes back and drops 42 on them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for them, they got to get some defense, man. They got to get some defense, and they got to get a number one receiver because I think Waller. I don't know if he was injured a lot or what, but you can't just depend on him and Renfro all season.
Yeah.
Renfro is only so much he can do. He's a slot receiver. You're gonna need a number one. I'm just thinking out loud, but if a Devontae Adams is available or somebody like that, you need to go get him. If whatever you got to do to get him to Vegas, do it because it's gonna pay off.
Yeah, you need a receiver who can stay healthy. You got to find guys who can stay healthy. Like some guys, man, they just can't. They just don't stay healthy. I know. I think Zay was hurt for a while this year.
Yeah,
All was hurt. All these
yeah.
guys get hurt. I know they lost one receiver early this year to certain other issues,
Henry.
like
I
legal issues.
forgot about him too. I
Yeah,
forgot all
But
about him.
like, so I agree. Um, the defense definitely. I just get the vibe about them that they're one of those teams that's always going to be middle of the pack. I don't know what they can like. They would need a major overhaul. So either you can watch the Raiders go, 8-8 for the next 5 years until you finally decide, okay, we got to break this up, or you can break it up now and start over. But I don't really see. I mean, man, you would need some huge changes, but yeah, I think that defense needs an overhaul. Walt, what you
But
got?
I was about to
that,
say,
oh,
y'all
good,
missing the biggest piece, and that's the head of the snake, and that's the head coach. You feel me? Like
I was just about to say that,
you gonna
but
need,
I think
you gonna definitely need a head coach because I mean, losing him.
I agree, but I think that's like a given that they're going to do. So I do definitely agree with you. But yeah, I'm trying to think of
I
what else.
would I would give him a full season.
So
I would give the coach that they have now a full season because how many coaches could take over in that turmoil and still do enough to get you to a wild card game?
I,
and
I mean,
and
I,
possibly should have won it. Like again,
Exactly.
we're talking about the referees. Like possibly could have won this game.
I
It was
honestly,
ugly, but they could have won it.
y'all saying the defense as well, but I mean, honestly, I feel like they biggest, pain in their butt right now somewhat is kind of Derek Carr. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, he's up and down. It's like a couple weeks he'll be hot, and then next couple weeks he might not be. So it's like you got to find that consistency as well in the QB.
I agree
And
with that.
and Josh Jacobs, man, he got to step up more as well, man. Like he's supposed to be one of the top tier running backs as well. And I'm not saying he's gonna be supposed to be top 5, top 10, but
He
I feel like
played a lot too.
I,
Yeah,
and
they're both streaky. Him and Jacob, Carr and Jacobs are both streaky. And sometimes if they have good days on the same day, man, that team is good. It's just trying to get those two to line up. I will say about that is the only thing with Carr is I don't know who out there better they can go get right now. And that's why I'm saying like either you just got to break up the team, go 3-13, 3-14, and then try to get someone in the draft, or else
Well,
you got to fix this team. And
it's
I think it
somebody
needs,
you can go
I think it
get,
needs a big overhaul.
it's just depending if they want to go there though.
and it's somebody you can go get, and he wouldn't have to move that far.
Who you got in mind?
Russell Wilson.
I mean,
He's
it's kind
still
of
on the
far.
West Coast. You wouldn't have to start over with a rookie. Now, would him and Sierra want to go to Las Vegas, Nevada? That's the thing.
I mean,
But
but we just talked about he couldn't win without a defense and without consistent receivers. You got the
that's
same.
true.
You still have to
Very
fix
true.
that.
Very true. 100%. 100%.
Let's move on over. Let's try to hurry this one up. Let's do Patriots. What do the Patriots need to get back, take over that division?
I think Mac Jones just need another year under his belt.
Agree.
You come on, bro. You 2 years are removed from Tom Brady. That's a lot. That's like being 2 years removed and you the starting shooting guard for the Bulls. It's a lot. After Michael Jordan just retired. Like, bruh, come on now. Give me some time.
Yeah,
Give
I'm gonna keep it short.
I ain't Michael Jordan. Give me some time.
I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna say, yeah, give them some age. I want to see where they're the next year, because like this young Seahawks, right? It's like, well, they didn't have any stars, but then the players they had turned into stars, and that's when the
True.
Seahawks became great. So I
True.
say give these guys some time. I want to see where they are next year. I don't think they need to overhaul anything majorly.
Yeah, I was just about to say they ain't got too much to upgrade. Honestly, the defense is still nice. They still, of course, got Bill Belichick, who's still one of the best head coaches in the game right now. So, and like you said, Matt Jones, that was only his rookie season. So, this second year, I feel like he's going to improve.
All right, let's go Eagles. What's the one thing they need to fix right away?
I think between the Eagles, you say everything. Dang, dude. No, but Walt has a point, because it is like, you got to build an identity. Are you going to be a downhill team, or are you going to be Jalen Hurts rolling out, looking for the open receiver? It's like you got to build an identity. Defense, they okay. They probably bottom 15, bottom 16. You can't really win games when, your defense can't stop nobody. It is what it is. But yeah, they got to build an identity, man. And I think Devontae Smith gonna have to hit them weights in the off season, because he too little, and they've been jamming the hell out of him. He can't get off the line. It ain't he. I think although he had 1,000 yards, he realized NFL is a lot different than playing at Bama.
Yeah,
Bama you can run, but
I think he's a guy you have to find him in his spots. I think that's what was great about Alabama, is they were able to, use him in the way that they could best use him. They didn't just have him run like a regular receiver.
But you got to think too, though, when you play at Bama, every team you playing ain't got a number 1, number 2 corner.
Right, but you see how the
going to
49ers
the league.
Debo Samuels, and I think they could do the same with Devontae.
He's a lot smaller.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm saying you just got to find ways to use him. Like, you don't always have to have 100 yards receiving. You could like over the top. You could go underneath. You could do screen plays. Pass. So all kind of things they do with him. I think they need to get more creative with the way their playbook. And then I think man, Jalen Hurts kind of like David Carr, man. You never know what you're gonna get from week to week. They definitely ride or die with how well he is. So you know, I agree. I think we give them some time as well, just like the Patriots. But
A lot of time.
I don't know, man. I think they do need to make some sort of changes because he they lost their tight end this year, so they need to go out and get some players for him to throw
I
to.
think the positive thing for them though, they're in a bad division. So if you can, split with the Cowboys, you can pretty much probably win that division.
Yeah. Let's go Steelers.
Clearly, quarterback. Ben, who knows if he's going to be there next year.
I think
I'm not sure if Mason Rudolph is going to be his replacement or if what's his name, Dwayne Haskins. I don't know if he's still there or not, but pretty much they got to fill that QB spot just to that's replacing some big shoes by Big Ben. So Harris, he's still going to do his thing, of course, but that's pretty much just the biggest piece, is just replacing the quarterback.
Yeah, we'll find out next year how good these receivers are, right? Was it?
I was just going to say that they're going to have to step up next year.
Yeah,
you can't give Najee Harris the ball 400 times each season.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to step up. But I mean, they can't step up if they can't get the ball, though. That's what I'm saying. It just all depends who they got back there.
But Pittsburgh is in that tricky situation where you're good enough to make the playoffs, but not good enough to go deep, and not bad enough to get a draft pick. So I think they have to go hard to get a quarterback this year. Not in the draft. I'm saying try to go out and get someone who can ball. Sort of like the Rams did with Matt Stafford, man. Go out and get someone who can find someone. I don't know who it is, but I think you can't just let this team burn out. You got a lot of talent on this team. You can't let it sink and then try to get draft picks years from now. So yeah, I think they need to go hard trying to find a new quarterback. Let's do Cardinals real quick. Let's wrap this up.
Cardinals need a number one and a number two receiver.
They gotta stay healthy.
I'm about to say they gotta stay healthy. You just gotta stay healthy.
That's what I'm saying. But who is your number two, really?
I mean, it was AJ, but
I'll say Green, really, or Christian Kirk.
But they both have injury problems.
Yeah, Fitz was talking like he's not coming back.
Yeah.
Was he on the team this year?
No, he was sat out this whole year. He sat out.
Oh, okay. I don't remember seeing no number 11.
Yeah, he said he's been eating too much. He doesn't think he's fit to come back.
He did look a little, chunky in the face, though.
Good for him, man.
Just a little bit, but I mean, that who am I to say that? You know what I'm saying? But also,
we're disagreeing with him.
The coaching, like it was like Kingsbury. It's like wasn't able to adjust to like anything, like to the game plan or nothing. It's just like everything was just the same. It's just like I feel like he kind of put them in some bad situations with not switching up the game plan a little bit. So quarterback, and then like you said, John, health. Health was definitely a big issue. Murray not having his number one, Hopkins. So I mean, that's definitely a big piece. They were 8-2 with Hopkins, and I think they were like 3-4 without him. So
yeah, I always say the best team doesn't win every year. The healthiest best team wins every year. I gotta add to that, the healthiest best team that doesn't get screwed by the refs wins every year. But I think they just gotta stay healthy. And then second, they gotta protect Kyler. Listen, he made bad decisions when he was under pressure. He's got to overcome those. He's not a rookie anymore, so he's got to overcome those. But they got to protect him too.